Wow. If that doesn't get you excited for what's in store for today's webinar, I don't know what will. Hi, everyone. My name is Catherine Pasolia, the founder and CEO of the Brokers Bible, and I'm delighted to be your MC for today's event. It's an absolute pleasure to be here as AMP Bank unveils their new customised AMP Bank broker platform, an industry first in Australia. As someone who is very passionate about empowering brokers and seeing our industry drive innovation, I'm genuinely excited about the potential this platform brings to transform the way brokers and their clients experience lending. Before we begin, I'd like to pay my respects and acknowledge all First Nations peoples across Australia. We recognise the traditional custodians of the land in which we meet, and we value their enduring connection to country, waterways and sky. We pay our respects to elders past and present for their resilience, courage and wisdom, and for ensuring the survival and vibrancy of this country's rich culture and heritage. We have a jam-packed agenda for you today, and we know your time is valuable. So let's jump straight into it. First up, you'll hear from Michael Christofides, a Director of Lending and Everyday Banking, who will give us an overview of AMP Bank's strategy. Next, Paul Herbert, Head of Lending and Everyday Banking Distribution, will dive into why AMP Bank should be your first choice as a broker partner. Then we will welcome Melissa Christie, Head of Lending Origination and the driving force behind the AMP Bank broker platform, to walk you through what makes this platform truly industry leading. Melissa will be joined on stage by key representatives from the technology partners who have helped build this custom solution. Joining Melissa on stage will be Kate Gubbins, Founder and Chief Customer Service Officer from Sympology, Sarah Morehouse, Senior Business Development Manager at Equifax, Sean Qualiani, CEO and co-founder of Fetiro, Chris Wagner, Head of Broker at Cotality, and Sam McCool, Managing Director and CEO of MSA. We are also very excited to have two special guests join. They are brokers who have already used the platform, sharing their real life experiences. Before our Q&A, I'll be announcing an exclusive offer for your customers when you submit loans through LoanApp, but you'll have to stay to the end to get all of those details. CPD points will also be awarded at the end of this session. To wrap up, Paul, Melissa and Kate will be back on stage to answer all those questions live, and Paul will share the training and support plans to help you get the most out of this new platform. Well, that's it from me for now. Let's get started, and over to you, Michael.
Good morning. Thanks very much. Lovely to see so many of you here in the room, and welcome to everybody online as well. I'm Michael Christofides. I look after the lending and everyday banking business for AMP Bank. I'm really excited to talk today about our strategy here at AMP Bank. AMP has been around for 175 years. It's an incredible legacy. And the fact that we've been able to come through that journey of 175 years is quite remarkable. The one thing that's been consistent for AMP throughout those 175 years has been our desire to help. Our desire to help customers, help our brokers achieve their goals. It's something that is part of our purpose. It's something that's part of our DNA, and we live that in the bank as well. The other thing that's been consistent for us within the bank has been our commitment to brokers. And we couldn't be here and we couldn't be successful without the partnership that we have from all of you. And so a massive thank you from me on behalf of AMP Bank for that partnership. With regards to our strategy, we have two big rocks. Our first is our investment in our new digital bank, what we call AMP Bank Go, which is aimed and focused at supporting small businesses and personal customers achieve their goals in Australia. And the second is about our investments in this custom-built broker platform, which is what we're going to be talking about today. But those two big rocks are really in service of one mission, and that mission is to become Australia's best digital bank. So you might be asking, how are we going to do that? How are we going to become Australia's best digital bank? And there's three pillars that I would like to talk about right now. That is our brand, our customer value proposition, and our service proposition. And so our brand, firstly. So the AMP brand is clearly a very well-known brand, but it's also a challenger brand. From a bank perspective, we're not a big bank. And we're proud of that. We actually love the fact that we're small. We love the fact that we're small and nimble and agile and can actually deliver solutions to our customers in a way that ultimately they find relevance and it means something to them. So we're going to always try to be bold. We're always going to try to be innovative and try to live up to that challenger brand mentality. The second is our customer value proposition. So our customer value proposition is really about helping customers create wealth through property. As a bank that's part of AMP, we're clearly a bank that's part of a wealth management business. That's a pretty unique position for us to be in market. And we're leveraging those skills and leveraging those capabilities to deliver the products, the solutions, and the services that our brokers and customers want from us. You might have seen some of those in market just recently. Our 10-year interest-only product, which we launched a couple of months ago, which is innovative, which really came off the back of feedback from our brokers and customers saying they wanted solutions that were a little bit different that could ultimately help customers, particularly customers who are in pre-retirement or retirement who want more cash flow. That was one of the bold solutions that we introduced. Other products that we have are things like our master limit, which again talks to investors who maybe have multiple properties or who have solutions that they want to be able to get from having flexibility in their product. And the master limit does that. All of these things are really hinged on the fact that we really want to try to do things differently. We're not going to try to be like everybody else. And so our products, our policies, and our processes are all designed around that idea. And then third and finally is our service proposition. And our service proposition is really how we want to win. We're not going to try to compete on price. We're not going to try to compete through anything else other than being the best possible service provider we can possibly be. And we want to win through service. That means we are swinging for the fences. That means we are doing something that is radically bold. And this new broker platform that we've built is bold, and we're super excited about it, and we're super excited about sharing that with you today, because there's a couple of things that are quite unique about it. The first thing that we've done is really that we've taken the best technology that exists in market and packaged it up for our brokers. And we've done that by partnering. Partnering is a really important part of AMP Bank's strategy. We're not necessarily trying to build everything ourselves. We know that there are others that are smarter and better at it. And you'll hear from many of those partners here today. And so we're leveraging the technology that our partners bring, leveraging the data, the automation and the digitization that each of those partners brings, and then packaging it up in a custom-built broker platform that you, our brokers, can leverage the benefits from, removing duplication from your processes, bringing the credit decision closer to you to be able to be much more in control in the conversations that you're having with your customers. Secondly, service also means people. We can build the best technology in the world, but without actually having fantastic people sitting in behind it, it will mean nothing. And so we invest in our people and we encourage them to actually have the same culture and ethos of being bold, of trying different things, failing fast. If we're going to make mistakes, it's not always going to be perfect, but we are going to respond the right way and fix those mistakes. And lastly, it's really just about how we make sure that our processes all hinge together. And that digitization that I spoke about before is how we ultimately will show up in market. And so, again, I just want to say a massive thank you on behalf of all of AMP Bank. Thank you for being here today. Thank you for joining us on this journey. And I hope you enjoy the session today. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. As someone who has been a broker for over 20 years and I've helped thousands of clients through that home loan journey, I've felt the pain at every step of the process, the delays, the paperwork, the back and forth with the client, not to mention the credit assessment team. It's exhausting for brokers and it's actually quite confusing for customers that don't see what's going on in the background. So hearing AMP's strategy, a genuine investment in intuitive digital tools and banking policies and banking products, that human first experience, it doesn't, feel good. It is the way forward. And it's refreshing to see a lender not just talk about being broker-centric, but actually show us what that looks like in action. For me, that's the kind of platform I want to use, and it's the kind of bank that I want to partner with. Now, to take us deeper into that broker-first approach, please welcome to the stage Paul Herbert, who's here to share why AMP Bank should be your first choice as a broker partner. Welcome, Paul.
Thanks, Catherine. And thank you everyone for joining us today online and both here in the room. I'm really proud to stand here and talk to you about why we've done what we've done. And I want to share a little bit about the background of how we've sort of come to where we are here today. So we know brokers deliver an exceptional experience to their customers. We know brokers create incredible frameworks and pathways for customers to deliver and grow wealth through property. That's what they do so well. We also know that brokers provide great transparency, great certainty, and expertise for customers through their life journey. So coming into this, that was a really important tenet for us, is how do we support our brokers be the champion of the customers? How do we support our brokers to deliver exceptional experiences to their customers through the entire journey? The second thing, we also know the industry has changed. So we think back 25 years ago, how we put an application together, how we communicated with a bank and how a broker worked together in partnership with banks. It's very different to what it is now. And it's also really, really different is the way that your businesses operate. The way you build your business has changed and the way you deliver your experience to your customers have changed. We know there are large operational teams that sit behind many of our broker businesses, but the platforms that you're using haven't kept up with that. They haven't recognised the important part your operational teams play in delivering a really exceptional service experience. We get that, and we've thought about how we can deliver that experience for you. And most importantly, we understand the importance of productivity. If you're a broker business like our business, we're going to make sure we do things efficiently, but we need to make sure it delivers an exceptional experience at every interaction with a customer. And we've thought deeply about how we can deliver that through the platform of work that we're delivering to you today. And I'm really excited as we dive into the detail, you'll see firsthand how your peers, brokers in the industry who have been involved in this process with us in building this platform from the outset, you'll see how this has been thought about and has been delivered through the program. Look, as MC sort of touched on, brokers are a really important part of our business. Over 90% of our business is delivered to AMP, comes from mortgage brokers. So our entire way we think about delivering experience is through a partnership approach. We're constantly thinking about how do we deliver experiences that are exceptional, that you can then deliver to your customers. To do that, we have to listen. And I see listening's an active sport. It's not oh, that's great information, we've got it, that's really, really interesting. Listening is about active listening. It's about taking those insights and going, then how do we then go about delivering solutions that solve the problems you're asking for help with? So I think MC sort of touched on a couple of things earlier on that sort of led us to make some decisions in the way we front up this business. And if we first of all sort of think about what that experience looks like for a small business owner. So a couple of years ago, 18 months ago, we made the decision to purposely step in to support small businesses in Australia. This is not just small business in Australia, but this is your small business. So we built out a mortgage lending platform, a mortgage business platform that allows you to leverage the cash flow in your business to accelerate your growth and to support you through the transitioning of the different business phases, whether that be through growing your book, buying a book, or transitioning out of your business. So our business finance platform is a product built specifically to support brokers on their journey of growth or their ambitions, whatever they might be. The second thing we wanted to make sure we continue to deliver is flexible and, I guess, reliable solutions. Now, what this means is we talk about the ability to access credit. We talk about the ability to access our BDMs and our broker experience specialists. And I know many of the people in this room and online will be dealing with our broker experience specialists every single day. I see firsthand the experience that we're able to deliver because we've got experts supporting our BDMs in those moments that matter. But it's more than that. It's around product innovation. And I think MC, again, spoke about that 10-year interest-only product. That was built off the feedback of brokers looking to solve a certain solution. But it's more than that. If you think about some of the other things we've done over the last sort of 12 to 18 months to support brokers and why this platform becomes an important part of that support, if you think about what we did with self-employed, we simplified what self-employed lending looked like in the broker market. The ability to use 1 year's tax return and notice of assessment. Really simple, easy, succinct, and able to understand. And if I think about how that then transfers through the organisations that you have in your businesses and your operational teams, it's a really important experience delivery for the right type of customers that we can support. And then the other part we don't talk about as much, and this platform will continue to support that even more so, is about your existing customers. So we have an incredible retention team that each and every day are talking to your customers, supporting them each and every day on helping them achieve their goals. We communicate back to you the conversations we've had or where we need your help. We do top-ups for you. For those smaller top-ups or those things that need to be done quickly, you continue to own that customer. You continue to own that relationship and the remuneration continues to flow to you. So we are very much a broker-first business. We're here to support your businesses and we're here to support your growth. And I'm sure over the course of the next 45 minutes to an hour, you're going to hear lots of information that might go, wow, that's different. Yeah, it is. And it's you. Our brokers have informed us of what it needs to look like. What is great going to look like in the future? It's not what we've done for the last 20 years. So join us on this journey. I encourage everyone online and in the room, pepper us with questions. If we don't get to all of them, that's okay. We promise we'll get back to you. If either directly or indirectly, we'll make sure we get back to you. But in the meantime, it's my absolute pleasure to welcome to the stage Melissa Christie, who's not only the driving force behind this platform rebuild, she's also the brains, the motivation, and she's brought together, I think, what's been an amazing team over the last 24 months to deliver to what we will to you, to the market today. Thanks, Melissa. Over to you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for coming here today to join us to hear about our platform. I'm going to start with a short video.
Brokers. We know that loan applications can be time-consuming and frustrating. Once you submit, you can't always be confident about the status of your application. And when you do hear from the lender, they have follow-up questions that make the process even longer. But what if there was a better way? AMP Bank have built a customised lender platform that asks for ID verification and income checking before you submit. This means that you'll know upfront the likely outcome of the application. If everything checks out, our credit team won't need anything else, and when they do, we'll let you know right away. Now, we know working with a new system isn't always easy. So we've been working with brokers as we build it to catch and fix any issues as they come up. As you start using the system, there'll be training guides for you and your staff, and we'll be on hand to answer questions and help you get the most out of your new platform. It gets easier every time you use it. Your loan applications get faster, and you can be more confident about the outcome and get your customer off the market quicker.
Okay, guys. So now I want to tell you about some of the features of the new AMP Bank broker platform. I think we've had a great introduction from Michael and Paul about about the why. So I'm going to get right into it. Look, I've been at AMP Bank for 3.5 years, and when I arrived, I had a spreadsheet full of items that the BDM said to me, "We have all these issues, and I need you to fix them." And, you know, one by one, working through the issues with the process or the system and trying to solve them, and doing it with our current platform, just it needed an overhaul. It was too hard. So over, the last 3.5 years, by speaking to BDMs, meeting brokers, looking at the feedback that comes back, I know the frustration of getting an unconditional email out instantly and getting docs out quickly and all those type of things, and the fact that I can't promise you today with our platform consistency of service that I can provide you. So the only choice was to overhaul it. And when we look at what the tech that is out there today, it is so much better than what was there 6 or 7 years ago. Tech has moved on. The ability to actually verify things up front before submission is able to be achieved today. We've also now got a platform that means that we can scale and grow and change as new technology emerges. So we're in a great position to really meet yours and your customers' needs. So I think I've talked about this. What we've got today, we've had lack of transparency, duplication of effort, lots of requests for more information when the application comes in, lots of toing and throwing back and forth with brokers, and our time to decision is not consistent, but also has been quite long. So obviously, you've told me, I've listened, and I'm really, really excited to be here today to show you exactly what we're doing about it. So the key is faster decisions. And how are we going to do that? Income will be verified before submission. So let me take you through that. There are 3 ways that we will verify income digitally prior to you submitting an application to us. Firstly, we connect direct to payroll providers for PAYG applicants and pull that data in directly. We then run a calculation and present to you on screen what the digital income is, and you can see declared and digital income together, side by side, and you can run serviceability on both. You can also choose which way you want to submit. We will also be able to scan a payslip and take the data off payslips, then again run the calculation and show you that digital income that we've verified on screen next to your declared. With that payslip solution, we also run fraud checks at the same time. So therefore, we can be confident on what we're using in that application upfront before submission. And then we have rental income. We can also verify that pre-submission. We actually use, we don't give you the rental income figure. We use what you declare, and then we go to validate that figure. If we validate the rental income, the weekly rent you've put in, then we're good to go. Only if we can't validate that figure would we ask for something else. So there are 3 ways that we are verifying income up front, and we're going to be doing a deep dive on that a little later. Expenses will also be verified pre-submission. So we will run our rules up front, and if the expenses pass our rules, then there is no reason for a credit analyst to review the expenses. Therefore, that's got a tick. We have seamless identity verification, and yes, it is digital, but being digital means that we can approve you quicker. We have the option to initiate the VOI process from LoanApp, or you can also retrieve it if you've done it up front. Now, we know lots of aggregators aren't using IDverse up front in their process yet, but we are talking to all of them. But where we want to get to is that we don't want you to do ID and then you come to us and we then go, well, we're going to do ID again, but we want you to do it this way. We want you to do ID when you're speaking to your customer before you've even chosen AMP Bank, and we want to consume it because that's easier and quicker for all of us. And then the solution has real-time credit and decisioning rules running over all the data you're entering. So if something doesn't look right, it's going to pop up on your screen and tell you, and you can look at it before submission. So you know exactly where you're at before we even get the application. So faster decisions is definitely what we're all about. Now, after approval, that's just as important. We need to get the customer off the market. We want to get to settlement quickly. We've also overhauled that process by partnering with MSA National. We have a personalised customer video. We have two of them that go out, one that goes out with docs and one that goes out with settlement. And it gives crucial information to the customer that they need to be aware of, particularly that are in their docs to make sure it's correct. It's a 2-minute video. It tells them what they need and what is coming up and what they do next. So if they need building insurance, it will tell them. If they don't, it won't be in there. It's a personalised video to their situation. Quicker loan docs. 90-second docs are issued to both broker and customer so we can get the customer off the market quicker. And single file ownership is a great one. So, you know, if you do have any issues during the settlement process or after approval with docs or after we've verified docs, there is one single contact name who you can contact to get anything sorted or fixed up. No going into a contact centre and them not knowing what needs to be done, no docs going missing. That person will sort it out for you. So here's the streamlined journey. Today, you choose AMP Bank as a lender. You'll launch straight into Loan App with all the data that you've collected in your CRM that will come across. You get the customer's consent. We get the consent up front. We don't get a signed application form in this journey. We get digital consent up front to run all our services. We do the customer's VOI, and then we will go into running all the income verification, and all our rules will run on the data that you put in. You'll put in a few extra things and then you can submit the application to us. Now, the important thing is in this process is that we are obviously running rules over all the data. That comes in, the credit team will see it, and all the rules that are passed will go to the bottom. And if there's any referred or failed, they go to the top. And that's what they focus on. All the ones that the system has passed are done, and they focus to those ones that they need to pay attention to. Say it's referred because you decided to submit on declared income over digital. Therefore, a credit team would need to look at it. Say, for instance, that your expenses didn't pass, then they'll look at that. But they won't look at all the other rules that have already had the system pass. Approvals are issued fast, and as I said, we have 90-second docs, and MSA will manage us to settlement, getting a quicker approval and settlement for your customers. I'm now going to invite Kate Gubbins, who's the founder and Chief Customer Officer of Simpology, and James Brett, Principal Broker at Truly Finance, up on the stage, and we're going to talk more about the Loan App experience with the new AMP Bank broker platform. Okay, Kate, it's great to have you here. We've been working together for quite a long time now, and it's great to see the platform come to life. Can you tell me how you see that the platform is different to others in the market?
Oh, well, the primary reason it's different is it's because it's been curated by AMP to match the vision that AMP has. We've been working together on this project for over 12 months, and I couldn't count the amount of times that I've been asked when we're thinking about some new functionality, what is the broker experience going to be? The number one, as you've heard, the number one ambition of AMP was to be able to deliver a platform that allowed a broker to verify all of the credit critical data in the loan submission. In short, if it's approved and okay in Loan App, it's approved and okay for the assessors. AMP's Loan App allows a broker to not only verify the applicant's identification, but also their security property, their rental income, even get an LMI quote, and of course, importantly, the employment income. And not only that, as you've heard, AMP has worked hard to make sure that any work that the broker does before they even get to Loan App is respected. So if you as the broker have done an ID verification prior to Loan App, you can actually recall and retrieve that and attach it into the Loan App application without bothering the applicants again. Again, if you've already done a valuation before you get to Loan App, you can retrieve that valuation. So again, respecting the work that you do even before you even get into the Loan App application. And as you can see, they've been proud of saying, you asked, we've listened, and this is absolutely reflected in what they've done in Loan App.
Great, thanks, Kate. And as you know, AMP Bank is using a full suite of Simpology services. So we are using Simpology for both lodgement, but also as our assessment platform. What benefits does that provide the broker?
Well, this really truly is the secret sauce. As a broker knows, when they put a loan application together and they press submit, their application data then is transferred into the lender's loan origination system. So really what it means is that the broker and the lender are actually working on two different applications in two different systems. With the AMP new ecosystem, the loan app that the broker creates and submits is actually the loan app that the assessor is still working on when they're approving the deal. So there's no data transfer issues, no lost notes, no lost supporting docs, actually very few supporting docs, and no lost activity as well. The validations that are done by the brokers, as we heard, are done.
And the same serviceability calculator is used right across the ecosystem.
Right. So the business rules, the policy rules, the serviceability rules that you guys actually experience in Loan App are exactly the same as the assessors when they're assessing and approving the deal. So if you're passing policy when you're submitting the deal, policy is passed. Where there are questions, and perhaps further details that are required by from the brokers, there's some really great convenient digital missing information request functionality that makes it really easy for you to quickly answer, and the information goes directly back to the assessor. So what AMP really wanted to create was a world where the broker and the assessor are truly working together on a deal, and that's what they've created.
Great. Thanks, Kate. And just finally, what are the key things that you see help this solution deliver a faster time to yes and a better broker experience?
Well, definitely, of course, the great services that have been integrated into the Loan App experience to validate all the critical data prior to submission. Also, the huge investment that AMP have made in a whole suite of further integrations in the assessment layer of the ecosystem, such as integrations with the core banking system, integrations with MSA, as we've heard about for 90-second docs and quick settlements, etc. Definitely one of the key items is the fact that the Loan App that everyone is working on is the one Loan App. And brokers and assessors are truly working hand in hand on the application. If an assessor updates the record in assessment, a broker can actually even log in and see how the data has changed. The great MIRs, once again, are really convenient, easy to use, and the information goes straight back to the assessor. Policy logic run at all layers, and it's the same policy logic. Live chat is always there to help, so the brokers can instantly get help whenever they need it. And finally, the AMP attitude. The whole team has been completely focused on delivering this dream to become the best partner to brokers.
Great. Thank you so much, Kate. Now, James, I have some questions for you as well, given you have used the platform. From your perspective, what do you think of AMP Bank's new application journey, and how does it feel using Loan App?
Well, thanks very much. We're actually, in our business, we love innovation. So we're massive supporters of this whole new. We're very excited to pilot and test the platform, firstly. Secondly, like anything new, it is it is like a bit tough. You look at it and you go, what is on this page? It looks busy, it looks weird, it looks different. But after the third and fourth time, honestly, you can get the feel for it and the intuition that's built into the design of the interface. So that's the first part. I would encourage brokers to have a crack, because if you don't have a crack, you will never know. And the speed doesn't come in the first or the second or the fifth time. Maybe you'll see, like I can just say, for instance, I was thinking before, the load time in Sympology is much faster. So you find clicking through each couple of seconds does add up. We like the way that the hub works. So what Kate was talking to is where the MIRs are loaded, the documents, the dynamic document platform, talking to assessors is just super easy once you get used to it.
And can you give us your thoughts on the assessment process and how that's different from the service that we have provided you previously?
It's great. We like the AMP assessors. They will be quick to respond. So a quick phone call or a quick question is always the best way to get it done. And they can do that quickly, again, through the hub. The assessors have been really proactive, as in the AMP fashion.
Great. Thanks, James. Thanks, Kate. And we will have you up again a bit later in the webinar. I would now like to invite Sarah Morehouse, Senior Business Development Manager from Equifax, Sean Quagliani, CEO and co-founder from Fortiro, and Chris Wagner, who's online, is Head of Broker from Cotality, formerly CoreLogic, and Jai Martinkovitz, Director from Brixton Mortgage. Thanks, guys, for joining. So now what we want to do is talk through income verification, because we know that is the unique part, the upfront digital income verification of the solution. So I've got a few questions to go through, and we're going to talk to each of our tech providers on this solution. So firstly, Sean. Hi, Chris. Firstly, Sean, how does your technology simplify the loan application or approval process for brokers?
Well, thank you, Melissa. And so Fortiro processes lots of documents, and we focus on the financial documents. So things like pay slips and tax returns, notice of assessments. And I'm sure everybody is familiar with sifting through these documents to find income information and to look for certain attributes about a borrower's income. And so Fortiro really speeds this process up, because our technology reads through those documents and it picks out those important financial pieces of information and it basically calculates an income figure. While it's doing that, it's also checking the documents for all of those policy requirements that we know can often lead to later stage processing requests for more information. So, you know, if somebody provides an old pay slip, or they provide two and they're not, you know, covering the right pay period, if there's things in the tax return that we'll need more information on, these can be the late surprises that can be very, very frustrating for borrowers and for brokers. And so with Fortiro, we automate all of that sort of manual review and calculation, which really is just a time and an effort saver.
Great. Thanks, Sean. And Sarah, can you tell us how the Equifax Verification Exchange solution also helps simplify the approval process?
Yep, absolutely. Quite simply, no documents are required to be uploaded for the Verification Exchange solution. So it's been integrated beautifully into the Sympology platform. So what that means is in mere seconds, a broker is able to see on screen verified employment income data direct from employers' payroll systems. So in terms of the simplification of the process, it's click of a button automatically on screen, as you can use side by side.
Great, thank you. And Chris, can you tell us about the CoreLogic /Cotality solution for rental income?
Sure thing, Mel. Thank you. Cotality simplifies the loan application and approval process by integrating our powerful data tools directly into a broker's workflow. So our data platforms integrate with AMP to enable brokers to access real-time property data from a single interface. AMP's transition to Simpology integrated with Cotality's PSX and Clappy Points mark a significant step forward in simplifying the broker's experience. This new workflow streamlines the entire loan application process by enabling smarter product selection, seamless data transfer from a broker's CRM, and real-time application tracking. So a broker benefits more from the intuitive interface, fewer manual inputs, and faster lodgement times, ultimately improving their efficiency and reducing friction in the journey.
Great. Thanks, Chris. Now I'm going to switch over to Jai. Can you tell us your experience about using the new income verification tools in the AMP Bank applications you've submitted?
Yeah, certainly. So one thing that's always refreshing is less paperwork. And my client services team are a hard audience, but they've given us great feedback about their experience using the platform when it comes to the income verification and other sort of automated processes around it. So one thing that I think, and this is kind of the direction that I can see this going within the industry, is that this is going to become the norm. So other banks, I'm sure, will adopt this over time, but we want to align ourselves with lenders who are at the forefront of these innovations, driving and piloting these new technologies. So that's why it's been great from our perspective. The other thing I think as well is the comfort that we can draw up front prior to lodging an application, knowing that all of that hard work's already been done. It's removing variables from that process, and that it's going to be a really smooth process. And we're seeing that with the turnaround times. And then the last thing I think as well that's really important to point out is a big piece of it as well is the choice. So we don't have to use these optional processes. So where, for example, the income isn't at the level that we've sort of independently looked at it when we've done our pre-submission checks and everything from prior to pushing it through to loan app, we can fall back on a manual process. But we are finding that the process is working really, really well with the digital verification, and especially with the way that AMP sort of innovated around this, where it's not using data scraping technology, it's using other technologies that have less lumpy data, and it's a much smoother process on that front as well.
Thanks, Jai. I might ask you a second question. How has this helped reduce rework and back and forth with assessors?
Yeah, look, it definitely has reduced rework. In fact, it's not uncommon that we're seeing approvals within one business day, often a matter of hours. So our customers are really happy. I think that anytime you need to go back to the customer and request more information, it's always a jarring experience because we do ask for a lot upfront as brokers. And, you know, we understand as brokers why lenders might come back asking for more information, but that frustrates customers. So I feel like these automations are removing those variables from the process. There's no need for an assessor to come back and ask it. And when they do, you know, it's usually fairly minimal, and it usually makes sense. So I think that's understandable. You can always go back to a customer with that. And then our client services team, they love it as well. And we get that one thing AMP also does uniquely, gives these beautiful little certificates that say one-touch approval. The team get a real kick out of it. And they also get remunerated based on one-touch approvals too. So more one-touch approvals, happy team, happy life.
Great. Thank you for sharing your experiences. So back to the tech panel. So what excites you most about the future of this partnership and how we can evolve the broker experience? I'll go to Sarah first.
It's truly pioneering. It really is. What you have created, plus the partners that you've brought in, Verification Exchange, you're really paving the way forward. You're completely modifying and bringing up to speed the need to match the market need for speed with making accurate, calculated decisions using verified data. So it's truly game-changing, in our opinion. In terms of how it's going to evolve the broker experience, I think that, again, that ability to take off the market sooner, actually increase productivity from that perspective, all while negating the need to gather personal information and documents. It's just going to completely revolutionize that component, as well as also enable you to combat fraud through the verification exchange. Things such as salary staging, overstated income, for example, that would, or even false employers. People do some crafty things now. That is navigated by the fact that you're not uploading those documents. So it's empowering you to move forward at pace, knowing that you've got everything that you need in your toolkit and see those one-touch approvals.
Great. And you're right, it makes us more confident that because of the technology that we can be confident of that income. Sean, I'll ask the same question to you.
Yeah, thank you, Melissa. And I completely agree, Sarah. I think the exciting thing about what AMP have built is I think it's really great foundations, and what has been built and is being released is it sort of tips a bit of a traditional process on its head, and it's set up so that there's more automation that can occur, in future, and what you'll see is effectively things will get smoother from day one, basically. And I think we know that income verification is an ecosystem play, and ultimately being able to provide flexible choices for borrowers that suit the circumstances that they're in. Having these pathways really provides a much better, I would call it, automation rate or straight-through processing rate than trying to rely on one or two or specific methods, because we all know that different borrowers have different needs, different circumstances. And so what's important, I think, is that AMP have really thought about what are the common scenarios, where are we likely to be experiencing manual bottlenecks, and there's really now an automated pathway using a best-in-class provider to verify that information. And I think it just sets AMP Bank up so well to deliver really great innovative services into the future as well.
Thanks, Sean. And over to you, Chris. What excites you about the future of this partnership and how we can evolve the broker experience?
Yeah, I think it's the potential for deeper collaboration and continuous innovation. I think with AMP's strong commitment to the third-party channel and rollout of smarter, more integrated technologies, brokers are positioned to deliver faster, more accurate, personalised service to their clients. And I guess as we evolve together, there's a real opportunity to co-create solutions that not only enhance operational efficiencies, but also elevate the client experience, making brokers indispensable partners in the home loan journey. I guess looking ahead, the partnership opens the door to even greater possibilities. Cotality's data-driven tools and automation capabilities are helping refine how brokers engage with clients, from lead generation to qualification to post-settlement retention. And I guess by centralising key workflows and enabling smarter use of property data, brokers can deliver more personalised, timely, proactive services. The future of our partnership, I guess, lies in building a connected ecosystem where brokers are empowered with insights, automation and flexibility, allowing them to focus on what matters most, building lasting relationships and delivering that great customer service to their clients.
Thanks, Chris. Thank you guys for joining me today. We will now move over to talk about our settlement experience.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'd like to ask Sam McCool, CEO and Managing Director of MSA National, to join the stage, as well as James Brett, our Principal Broker from Truly Finance. Thank you, guys. So now we're here to talk about magic that happens after approval. So Sam, thanks for joining me. Can you talk through how MSA National is leading the way in improving the overall settlement experience?
Well, 10 years ago, we recognised that we can't just be a law firm. We recognise that the back end of the process, post-approval, is super important for brokers. When we're in the office documenting loans and organising settlements, and then when we go home late at night to watch Netflix, we appreciate that brokers are in the living rooms of customers taking loan applications. They work extremely hard for that. So in 2015, we reinvented ourselves, became more of a technology company. Well, we started that journey to evolve into a technology company. So now we manage risk like a law firm, but we've developed technology that doesn't just have cool features, but actually solves pain points for brokers. So we just listened to brokers and built our business around what they want once the loan is approved. And we know that, yes, they want speed to yes. They also want speed to sign, because speed to yes, speed to sign leads to speed to settlement. And as a result of that, we've developed some really cool technology that solves those pain points, and we're going to talk about those. There's 4 in particular that are game changers. But we also, we're now settling 1,500 transactions a day on the PEXA platform. We're Australia's largest service provider, and that comes with a responsibility. And the responsibility for us is to partner with lenders such as AMP, who are focused not just on the speed to yes, but also on the end-to-end solution. That's what excites us, because the customer's journey doesn't just end with the approval. It's what happens after that. And I think what we've developed with AMP is an incredible solution. I hate using the cliche game changer, but it really is. And we're kicking off that journey. The pilot phase went incredibly well. And we think it's just the beginning, because we've got that feedback loop now happening, which you yourself, Melissa, is driving.
Yeah, great. So let's talk about 3 of the key benefits. Firstly, single file ownership and what that means for brokers.
Okay, so we've developed technology that provides the speed, but we still believe that it's the people that provide the soul for that customer connection and that customer care. Because, look, out of 100 loans, 90 loans will go really smoothly, but it's in those edge cases of those 10 files where the customers are a little bit confused, no matter how simple the solution is to use, or they're just too busy to notice, certain terms and conditions. So we focused on solving those pain points really for them. And so we've retained that single point of contact for brokers throughout the journey, which means what? Which means that the customer and the broker receive the direct email, the full name, and the direct phone number. Yes, we still take calls because they're important on those edge cases, of the settlement coordinator that handles the file as soon as the documents are signed. And that's on SMSs, that's on emails, that's on the customer portal called OnTrack, and that's on the video solution. We can talk about the video solution
in a minute. And James, what do you think about the single file ownership model that MSA National has?
Oh, it's definitely the best way to go. Like Sam said, just jumping on the phone if there's any little problems to solve, which are rarer than usual. But having the speed, it's almost like we can't even pick up the phone fast enough to let our customers know that their loan's approved and docs are on the way before they actually start receiving the notifications themselves and the docs arrive in their inbox. So we love the single file ownership. There's nothing worse than going into a call centre and having to be transferred around. So it's terrific, and we're really excited you've partnered with MSA.
Great. And Sam, can you talk to us about the personalised video and what the benefits that provides?
We live in the YouTube generation. Nobody likes to read anymore, right? And so we use video as a medium to communicate the most important points that the customers need to remember, and things like insurance, right? So, insurance represents over 70% of the outstanding requirements after a customer signs. Now, with this e-sign solution, the e-sign solution coupled with the video, they work synergistically to make sure that the customer does not forget those important things that they need to upload when they sign their documents, one of them being insurance. And so the video is customized to the AMP solution and the key messages that you want. And again, the video will say to the customer, here are your loan details, maybe loan amount, interest rate, loan repayments. If you have any questions, contact your broker, John Smith, and it has the broker's contact details on the video. We always keep the broker at the centre of our communications with the customer. So it solves a lot of pain points for them. Now, engagement with text is about 15%. In other words, 15% of people will read all the important details. With video, the engagement's over 80%. And in fact, with the AMP solution, the completion rate with the pilot is 94%. So 94% of the people are watching the video from beginning to end. And consequently, because they get the video before they sign the documents, which they come pretty much, within seconds of each other, which says, watch this video before you sign the documents. And what we're finding is that customers are signing documents a lot quicker. And that's key for us to getting to settlement.
And that's great for us as well. We obviously all want to get the customer off the market quicker. So the last thing, the game changer, 90-second docs. Talk to us about that.
Yes, and I want to address the brokers who are all listening to this when it comes to 90-second docs. Now, I think we're nearing 90% of loans that are being approved are actually going through the 90-second document solution. And what stops it from going through within 90 seconds, I mean, some of it's 23 seconds, 40 seconds, whatever it is, let's call it instant, is incorrect data. So brokers need to focus on quality data in. Quality data in, faster settlement. That's all you need to remember. Because if, for example, the customer's email address or mobile number is incorrect, that's flagged for human intervention. Then we have to go back manually and correct those fields. So they're two common examples. So, yeah, I can't stress enough for the brokers out there. If you want a fast settlement, quality data. And with the tech solutions that you've just been talking about, I mean, that's made it even more easier for brokers to do that.
Yeah. And now over to James. How will the ability to issue docs in 90 seconds change the settlement experience for your customers?
It just, thanks, Melissa and Sam, speed is like, I can't say better than what's already been described, taking the client off the market and giving comfort. Comfort is a good word for it because it's comfort not only to the clients, because it's, a formal approval, then how long and what's the process. It's comfort for them that it's done, less worrying, better sleeping at night. And then for our office, it's also comfort for us because we know the delivery is there. And we also have a more efficient business because we don't have that task to follow up docs. So there's one less step in our process. It's more efficient. It's more comfort for us as well. So we think that, the fast document solution is fantastic.
Great. Thank you, Sam. Thanks, James.
Awesome. Thank you.
Found it very enjoyable. I like the fact that we have been involved in the whole process of making this happen, I guess.
Yeah, it's been really exciting to be part of something really new and intuitive that hopefully all my support staff can really enjoy and get through a lot of applications very quickly.
It's been an open forum. I think the words used were no sacred cows when we first started talking. And especially on the second wave, which we're doing right now, we've seen how user-friendly that the interface is for the brokers and the broker admin teams.
Probably the error messages that you can actually override them with your commentary and feedback. You can kind of get around it on the spot and it tells you what you've actually done wrong. The digital income verification is not the same as what you've inputted. Basically, you just put in the system why it is what it is, maybe a pay increase, and then you proceed.
Getting your approval done within your lunch break, which is extremely achievable, and then you could even sign your docs before you actually go back to the office if you had 15 minutes with a half an hour lunch break, and then it can be done. So that's pretty amazing. You can do it on your phone.
Transparency and the way to communicate with a credit assessor, where we can actually write our notes and the credit assessor use the same system. They use the same service to do the calculator that we use. So it's all very transparent, which is a good thing.
Less MIRs, faster outcome, docs straight away. Consumer knows where they stand, we know where we stand, we can move on to the next 5 5 of that might be there, or spend more time actually just taking the class to lunch?
Speed and efficiency and something new and fresh.
It's just the time to yes. It'll take the client out of the market a lot faster. So from time of submission to time of approval to time of documents is all very quick. So people, especially clients, they want answers quickly and they want them today. So this will help that. Get on board. You're missing the boat if you don't jump on it, that's for sure.
Wow, brokers. I know you will agree with me when I say AMP has listened. They care, and AMP Bank believe in the broker channel. AMP have made some very big, bold moves designing their own tech, and I know firsthand what that involves. AMP Bank do not want to swim in the sea of same. And it's incredibly reassuring to see how AMP Bank's strategy is so aligned with where our industry is heading. Digital first, broker focused, and customer centric. This pre-verification process already built into the front end before you even press that submit button is a game changer. It means that you will spend less time chasing paperwork, playing ping pong with the assessor, and more time doing what you do best. And that is serving your customers and building strong relationships. You've heard firsthand today how brokers have reacted to this platform. It is more than just a tech upgrade. It is a shift in how brokers and banks can collaborate to deliver faster, cleaner, and more transparent lending outcomes with the broker at the centre of that experience. This launch, it demonstrates the commitment AMP Bank has in supporting the broker channel long term. And that's not the only launch we have for you today. AMP Bank has not only given me the privilege of being your MC today, but also the pleasure of sharing some exciting news. When you gain access to the AMP Bank broker platform, if you submit a refinance home loan application through a loan app, before 30th of September, your customers will receive a $2,000 cashback. So if that's not a great incentive for you to try out the new platform powered by LoanApp, I don't know what is. Now, we realise today there's information overload and we have shared so many exciting updates with you, but now we want to hear from you. To finish off our session, we'll be taking live questions from people here in the room and those joining us online. Please send these through to the chat. Paul, Melissa and Kate are here and ready to answer them all. To kick things off, we did have a few questions submitted during our registration. And my first question for you, Melissa, we're going to get started with you now. How did AMP choose LoanApp?
I think with LoanApp, there is the flexibility to customise the solution we want to provide to our brokers. It also means that there is the possibility to do the integrations we want. So we have the income verification services, the ID and the valuation services. Everything can be integrated in the front end pre-submission, and that was really important for us as a design principle, that we could verify as much as possible before submission. So it's the flexibility of the platform is why we've chosen LoanApp.
Well, I'm excited. Putting on that broker hat, I think every broker has gone through that pain of pressing submit and then the information transports over and there's discrepancies, and that is a massive time saving to get it right before you submit it through to the bank. So just give it a crack. I think the outcome that you're going to get and the customer service and also the experience, that client experience, will far outweigh the pain of having to learn a new system. Now, second question over to Paul. Will the BDMs also have visibility to see the system as brokers see it?
Yeah, it's a great question. And we've talked a lot about today about working in one system. So if a broker's in the system putting an application together, it's the same system our credit assessors use. So that being the case for our broker experience specialists and also our BDMs will also have access to that system as well. What's really unique though, and we've talked a lot about this today, about the verification up front and the ability to do a whole lot of stuff up front before you hit submit. We also get to see what you're doing up front, and we can support you through that application journey prior to submission. Now, our BDMs are busy, like they're out on the road, they're talking to you, they're helping you with scenarios, they're helping you with training. We'll have a whole back office team there working alongside you. So as you're putting the deals together, you need some help or a bit of a nudge about what do I do here? We have the support mechanisms built in place. But this is really unique. It's not once the deal gets into the system, we're able to help you. We're able to help you before you hit submit. And I think the other piece that's really important to sort of talk about as well, we talk about pre-verification of income as being important. I just want to put that in context. When we say we've verified income, that's the income we're going to use to approve the loan. So you know when you hit submit that AMP is going to use that income. There is no doubt. So these are the sorts of things we're building, that surety, that transparency up front. And all the linkages through the business support brokers are to ensure that what you see and what we tell you we're going to do, we do. And you can give that confidence to your customers.
And can I just add that there's extra support with the online chat service in LoanApp as well? Kate, do you want to just elaborate on that?
Yeah, absolutely. Help is a click away, essentially. We've got a team of people in Australia who will answer any questions you have. They can screen share, they can have a look at what you're doing, tell you, what you need to do to move forward and to solve whatever problem you have.
That's amazing to think that there's no raising a ticket with your aggregator and working through that to get an answer, because that can really be a blockage. If you've got a deal that you have to get submitted for whatever reason, you don't want to be waiting on raising a ticket and having someone come back to identify what that issue is. So that is really important, again, to keep the flow going, and also to have a BDM that can, or the back office that can actually jump in and say, hey, no, you need to, untick that box or whatever, but have that visibility is incredibly important. And certainly an industry first, I would say. Now, on to Kate. Now we've touched on this question, Kate, but we're going to go a little bit deeper and would love some more insights on this. How is this lender platform different to the lender platforms who are also powered by LoanApp? Are there some specific differential parts that you've built that are really bespoke to AMP? What's the good stuff that this does?
Do you know what I really want to say is the one thing that's different is Melissa's stomping foot. Throughout the project, there were many times when Mel stomped her foot and said, no, this is going to be how the system functions. So it's a very big difference, but it's an awesome difference as well, because she and the whole AMP team really pushed the boundaries, had a dream and have turned it into a reality. So the difference is definitely, the income verification using the great partnerships is unique. No one else is doing it in the market, so it's pretty incredible. And then the combination of all of the verifications truly does mean that a broker has an opportunity to completely verify their deal before they even press submit, again, which is unheard of. Mm-hmm. And then if you overlay that with the fact that the credit policy that's built into the ecosystem is the same in LoanApp as it is in the assessor's hands, then really, if the broker is seeing that credit policy is being satisfied in the LoanApp experience, it actually does mean that it's satisfied. So that too is really, really unique and exciting proposition.
Oh, it certainly is. Sorry, Paul.
I might just say, I think, Kate, I might just pick up on something you said there, and I want to share some words that a really accomplished broker who's been involved in this process said early on. As they're putting the deals together, and they've been using, and they've got a large back office that put a lot of their deals together to support their brokers. the words that really stuck with me, it's like having a credit analyst sitting beside you as you're putting the deal together, because it's bringing up the information you need to address. So it's not submissive, it's actually bringing the information up that you need to address. So rather than 2 pages of notes that are really important as you put your credit mem together, it's actually pulling out the stuff that we need specifically, and you can attach those specific responses to those specific requests. So it's kind of, for our operational teams, he said, it's actually like having the credit analyst sitting beside me. So when I hit submit, I actually know what I asked, we've addressed it, so we don't need to deal with it again. And that's a real big time saver, especially when you've got large operational teams supporting brokers.
And that is all completely by design to remove that back and forth, obviously, from broker to credit assessor. We want to make that as simple and easy as possible, and we can get to approval quicker.
One final point as well. In the spirit of working together, brokers and assessors really working on the same deal, AMP haven't made it hard and fast that you must do this, you must do that, you must pass policy. You are presented with policy, but you also have the opportunity in most cases to actually override the policy and make comment as to why you are, if it's justifiable, which is really cool, because you're getting all the information that you need. You have the opportunity to submit a deal that is passing everything, but you also have the opportunity to say, actually, AMP, I think that you need to know this, and therefore, I'm going to override this policy.
And that's really important, because brokers are dealing with 30-odd lenders, and it is difficult to be mindful of the intricacies of each lending policy and to have that flexibility, and also to have the flags that come up, because it could just be a little, short comment, and that can then be if you don't make that comment, well, that can snowball into the back and forth, which you're trying to avoid. Yep. But addressing it now, make a notation or do a bit more of a deep dive before you send it through. Again, I guess it goes back to that time saving and making sure everyone's on the same page when you do press that submit button, which is really important. Now, Melissa, this might be a question for you about multiple offsets, attaching them. Is there the ability to do that inside?
Yep. So in LoanApp, the broker can enter how many offsets that the customer wants, which loan split they're attached to, and who are the borrowers that should be attached to that offset account. So you can set up, a joint one, and then one for borrower one, and then one for borrower two. You can detail all that in the application.
And there's lots of intricacies like that have been built into the platform, which is really cool. But also, again, with live chat and the knowledge base, there's all of the resources that you need to understand how you put that type of deal together and make sure that the information or the structure of your deal is as you want it.
Yeah, and the great thing about when you put all that information into LoanApp, then the offset accounts are created instantly at unconditional approval and linked instantly at settlement. So it's a smoother process all around.
It seems very intuitive and, keeping it simple, but it's obviously sophisticated in the back end, which is really important. Again, Melissa, this might be for you or Paul. How does the system deal with expenses? Maybe they're lower than HEM. Are there any flags, anything that's highlighted to the broker?
Yeah, and I think I mentioned before that if expenses pass our rules in the background, then the credit assessor has no reason to look at it. And I just wanted to make it clear that we run all our rules on declared expenses. But if the expenses don't meet the rules, say, for instance, it is under HEM, then we will alert you. You can override it, but you just need to explain why. So we understand why you're submitting expenses that are under HEM.
Okay, great. Well, now I've just been told by the team we do have some questions online, so I will refer to the team and we'll look at those now.
Okay, thank you. Question, in verifying living expenses, do we need to provide statements or transaction reports for all bank accounts held by the customer?
No, we work off your declared expenses and we don't require statements.
Thank you. And also, does AMP offer the ability to retrieve credit file reports for each applicant?
Yes, there's an Access Seeker integration in the interface. And so a broker will be able to, or in fact, the system will request the Access Seeker report. It is only viewable to the broker. AMP won't get that report and they won't get the data. If there's liabilities in the credit file, they will populate on screen as well. So the brokers can just check that what they're declaring is the same as what's on the credit file.
But the hard inquiry, it doesn't happen until submission.
There's also a question about our current servicing calculator. I mean, myself as a BDM, a lot of brokers will come to us with the manual servicing calc that we provide. So can you just explain the difference of what will happen in Loan App?
Do you want me to start?
Yeah.
Okay, so the servicing calculator is built into Loan App. We have a serviceability journey that you can do outside before you even start an application, and then you can promote that to an application. But the key thing here is that the serviceability calculator that the broker uses, that the assessor uses, that's in your CRM, that's built in quickly, all along the platform, it is exactly the same calculator. So we are looking to transition from the current Excel calculator, and this new calculator will give you the same outcome.
One final point on serviceability is that you can actually launch the serviceability calculator or journey from your aggregator CRM as well, much like you can launch Loan App.
Look, there are a lot more questions coming through. We're not going to have time to get to everything right now, but certainly we will be circling back. If it's not in this session, it certainly will. BDMs will be reaching out to you to continue answering these questions. Thank you so much for giving us such a detailed overview of what you're releasing. I'm excited, and I really feel that brokers will embrace what you've built. I want to go over to Paul now. Paul, I would love you to talk us through the platform support that brokers are going to get for themselves and their team. What kind of education and training do you have in store?
And this is an area we've really, really invested heavily in. We know when you're disrupting an industry or disrupting ways of working, it requires a lot of energy. We've not gone down the same path as everyone else, so there's going to be things that we know they're going to look different. It's going to feel different. That's by design. The user experience we've built is by design. It's by brokers designing what a great user experience, not what the user experience they've been learnt or accustomed to using maybe 5, 10, 20 years. So we'll have lots and lots of scheduled webinars, Q&As. We'll do platform reviews end-to-end. There's two parts in here, though, that are really, really important, and we've spent a lot of time talking to today, and that's around the digital income verification and also requests and supporting documentation information. We have dedicated deep dive sessions and deep dive training specifically tailored for both brokers and their operational teams. So remember, we've had brokers involved in this from the outset. We know the importance of getting this training to the people who are using the system day in, day out. Ultimately, what we're trying to do is build a system you don't have to spend as much time in. That's the premise of what we're trying to do is how do we remove the time you need to spend in that system? So we want to make sure that we've got the right tools and the right support. So there's a lot of training that has available. Now, you'll notice on the screen there is a QR code. Please grab your phone out if you're online or you're in the room. Grab the QR code. This is a link to our training hub. So this will take you straight there to all the resources for your team that you could possibly need. Now, we also have amongst that a whole lot of, and you can see bite-sized self-training videos, self-learning videos, but also you're going to have an enormous amount of support from the AMP team. But we know that doesn't always work with getting people into your office at the right time. So we've made sure we've actually built a training catalogue of support that really is fit for purpose. It's built with supported by our brokers to ensure that as brokers, you can use and consume this across your teams. And as Kate's talked about, the live chat within the platform is going to be really critical in those early days as people use the system for the first time. We know it's different, and that's by design. We know it's going to be from the first couple of times when you use it. James talked about it takes a few times to get used to it. Yes, you're probably going to unlearn some of those behaviours and some of that muscle memory you have using the existing systems to use this. But when you get into it and use it a few times, you'll go, this makes sense. So yeah, a lot to take in. please jump online, grab the information, share it with your team, and talk to our team also then how we can, in addition, perhaps support those larger trainings that you need to do across your operational teams. We're happy to dive in and help.
Well, thank you, Paul, Kate, and Melissa. It has been such an exciting morning. Thank you to everyone who has joined the AMP Bank team here today. On a personal note, I just want to say a heartfelt thank you to the AMP team for entrusting me with the role of being your MC here today. What you've built with this platform is broker focused, and that's the same reason I built the Broker's Bible. We're both driven by a purpose to improve broker efficiency, boost productivity, and ultimately deliver better outcomes for customers. I know I'm genuinely excited about this platform and how it will take the pressure off brokers and bring a new level of simplicity and speed to our everyday process. And that there is a game changer. Behind me, you'll see our CPD points codes. There's also a URL for the Broker Training Hub where you can find more information on the platform. We will be sending you an email later today with all of the details. Thank you again, everyone, for joining us, and have a great day.